Hello, everybody, and welcome to Marveling in the Madness Reacts. Nearly stumbled over the intro there with my good friend Steve. This time, we're watching the 10 most mysterious places on Earth. Let's see how we get on.
Looking at real places that are shrouded in secrecy and or are associated with the unknown or the unexplained.
There's no way we could just get an escort.
Just gotta go through the obligatory
Number 10,
intro.
the Alaskan Triangle, also known as Alaska's Bermuda Triangle.
It might help if mystery had a face there.
Spanning the vast southeastern reaches of the Alaskan wilderness up to its mountain ranges, an unusual number of hikers, boats, and planes vanish here without a trace. In fact, the state of Alaska has not only twice the American national average of people reported missing, but also the lowest statistics for people found.
Could we talk about this when I get back from
Pirates.
Alaska?
Is it the unforgiving weather,
But surely you'd
wild
make
animals,
that like a no-fly
harsh
boating
terrain, or
zone.
something more
That
sinister?
would make
The
sense. But
indigenous Tlingit people tell stories of a shape-shifting
Okay.
being called Kushtaka, meaning land otter man, who mimics the screams of children to lure unwary
land
travelers
otter
to
man?
their deaths.
I don't feel like
Others
Okay, wait,
claim
pause a
to
second.
Or propose that the area is
Who's
a
running to screaming children? If I'm in the forest, I am screaming children. I'm like, hey, every man for himself. Sorry, mate. Nah, that is crazy. And come for me in the comments. I don't care, but that, nah. You're on your ones for that. You're outrageous. Anyway,
I like how
continue.
he's called the land ottoman, as in otter
It's kind
doesn't.
of cool.
It doesn't strike much fear though, does it? Ottoman.
No, it sounds really cute, but if you're screaming in the middle of the forest and it's nighttime, this ain't
Sees out.
Scooby-Doo, bro. I'm not coming for you.
Well, there we go. Don't scream when Steve's around. He won't
vile
help.
vortex like the Bermuda Triangle, linked to electromagnetic aberrations.
To reduce it to simplified terms, the weather was just
It's
plain
aliens.
rotten.
Number 9, the Stony
Yeah.
Tunguska River, also known as the Patkamanaya Tunguska River. In 1908, an explosion 1,000 times greater than the nuclear bomb dropped on Hiroshima tore through the air over Siberia. Witnesses reported a column of bluish light as the sky seemed to split in half and catch fire.
It's called the
Look at
Tunguska
that, we're
event,
learning.
and it was a comet or a meteor or something like that.
The blast sent a shockwave that knocked
Aliens,
people
they
off
should.
their feet and flattened 770 square miles of forest, toppling an estimated 80 million trees. When the
Wow.
first expedition arrived to investigate, native guides would not enter the impact zone, fearing people they called the Valley Men. Scientific consensus attributes the blast to the explosion of a meteorite in midair, leading some to blame natural gas or even a collision with alien spacecraft.
That's cool.
Vertrete auch die Auffassung, dass
Always
dort
back to the
eine
aliens.
Gasexplosion gewesen sein muss, aber nicht nur.
Number 8, the Devil's Sea, also known as the Dragon's Triangle and the Pacific Bermuda Triangle. This is a region of the Pacific Ocean that's south of Japan, where several ships have
Sea
disappeared.
monsters.
Notably, the Japanese research vessel Kaio Maru No. 5 in the early 1950s. Sailors have reported problems with electronic instruments and sightings of unmanned ghost ships.
Christ, she's beautiful.
American author and linguist Charles Berlitz
Leviathan.
the area
There you
around
go.
Miyake Island famous with a Dragon's Triangle in
Hey, yeah, it's
1909.
mentioned in the Bible. You
It's-
can't even laugh.
The
it's-
Kaio Maru was
Leviathan.
destroyed by natural forces while the crew was investigating
That's what all the
the
Bermuda
eruption of
Triangle
an
is. It
underwater
happens to be where
volcano.
it's 3
Berlitz
feet come out
attributed
or
the
something
incident
stupid.
to unknown supernatural
That's why I went
forces.
for feet, not
And
mouths.
even blamed the Dragon's Triangle for
giant
the
snake
disappearance of
creature.
aviation
Well,
pioneer
apparently, I don't know.
Amelia Earhart.
Earhart, this is Itasca. Did you receive transmission?
Number 7, Island of the Dolls, also known as
Ooh, I heard
Isla
about this
de las Muñecas.
That's not
As
creepy
you
at all.
navigate this creepy island just south of Mexico City, thousands of small, unblinking eyes watch your passage.
Nope.
Well,
Oh my god.
someone had fun doing that, didn't they?
The
Oh, too
island
much
is
fun.
actually man-made, dating all the way back to the floating gardens of Aztec times.
Thing
As
is,
legend has it,
pause a
owner
second,
Julian
right?
Santana Barrera found a
It's funny now. We're kind of still weird, but funny now because we know about it, right? Let's just say it's for whatever reason, it's 100 years from now, and other people are visiting, and let's just say let's just say something just got wiped out and there's no more news out of this. Imagine just walking into that, and be like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, it would be creepy.
You
That
know
would
what I
be
mean?
really
You'd be
creepy.
like, "What? Why? Who?
Who and why and where?
And leaving if I was there.
There's a theme with you here to make.
It's creepy dolls and children.
Oops.
I'm out.
Just ruined it. I've done a bad thing. There we go. We're back.
Job.
In the canal, and a doll floating
All
close
you have to do
by.
is press the play
She
button.
hung in a tree as a sign of respect. But shortly following this act, he started to hear whispers, footsteps, and screams following him in the dark. Santana Barrera spent the next half-century hanging dolls to pacify the girl's spirit.
He found the dolls in the canals and in the trash. He started hanging them up to protect him and to try to scare away the spirit of the girl.
When he died in 2001, his body was eerily found in the same spot he'd found the drowned girl. Number 6, the Nazca Lines.
The lines themselves directed you farther east.
Some 2,000 years ago, hundreds of complex geoglyphs were carved into the desert sands of southern Peru.
I always thought that they brought the rocks here and that they had to build these shapes.
Composed of thousands of lines, the geometric figures and animal and plant designs cover arid plateau south of Lima, more than 50 miles in size.
That's amazing.
How were such complex designs created without aerial technology? Why did these people create shapes in the soil that are only visible from the air or hilltops? While scholars claim the lines were constructed using simple surveying equipment, others speculate the use of hot air balloons, or that the lines were once alien airfields. Various other uses
Alien
have been
airfields?
proposed, from religious
Yeah,
symbolism
but that one makes more sense. But the hot air
calendars
balloons.
to irrigation.
Explain.
But
their
why would an
ultimate
alien
purpose
airfield be in the shape of a
remains
giant ant?
unknown.
There must be some kind of message. But it's a message.
Makes more sense than the hot air balloon, man.
understand.
Well,
Number
who's
5,
that?
North Central
Yeah, I think that's been recently invented. Oh, yeah, that's fine.
An isolated indigenous tribe has lived on this island in the Bay of Bengal for an estimated
That's cool.
60,000 years. Fringed by perilous reefs, the island is difficult to reach, and boats that do land are met with a hail of arrows.
I low-key respect it.
I do. Oh,
As
that's
a
quite cool.
result, little is known about the Sentinelese. Their language is unclassified, and population estimates range from 50 to 400. During one failed expedition, as tensions rose between locals and
That's
anthropologists
the last
cornered on the
true
reefs,
beings.
some of the indigenous
Yeah.
women made off with warriors and proceeded to have sex on the beach. What are the beliefs and customs of the Sentinelese?
Wow.
What do they think of our metal
Sounds
ships and
unnecessary.
flying machines?
That's a bit
This
too much.
tribe believes in total isolation. It will not tolerate a stranger.
Number 4, the
play
Michigan
to 'em.
Triangle.
It's been known to actually chase vessels and try to capture them.
Often compared to the Bermuda Triangle, this region in Lake Michigan is the site of numerous maritime and aviation disasters. Particularly notorious is the strait linking Lake Michigan and Green Bay, known as Port des Morts or Death's Door, which is littered with
Oh, yeah,
shipwrecks
sounds like a
thanks
great
to
place
hidden
to go.
shoals and unpredictable
Should we
winds.
go there, mate?
Miami, man.
The
Just
most
nip
famous
into
incident
death's
was
door
the
real
crash
quick.
of Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 2501 in 1950, which killed all 58 passengers and crew, and was the worst airline accident to happen in the United States to that point.
Therein lies much of the mystery. Why was this plane so far off its course?
Only light debris and human body fragments were recovered, although mass burial sites were recently discovered in local cemeteries. Annual searches for the wreckage continue.
Van Heest and a search team
Why,
are
though?
hunting Lake Michigan for the plane's debris.
Number 3,
I suppose it's
Easter
safer for
Island.
family members.
887
mind, I
monolithic
correct
stone
myself.
statues watch over this remote Pacific island. Carved by the Rapa Nui people as early as the year 1250, most
cool.
of these silent sentinels line the coast with their backs to the sea. What compelled people to build and transport such giant figures, some of which weigh over 80 tons? While oral histories recount that the statues walked into place of their own volition, scholars have proposed various theories, including that they were moved by rocking their bases back and forth. Scholars speculate that the statues represent deified ancestors, but the island's stone guardians could not protect the Rapa Nui people, whose population has been greatly abolished by deforestation, European diseases, and Peruvian slavers. Number 2,
Europeans, man.
Stonehenge.
Who built it? How was it built? And why?
This is the name given to a ring of standing stones around 5,000 years old that are surrounded by hundreds of ancient burial mounds in Wiltshire, England. Scholars have debated the significance of Stonehenge for decades.
These are some special stones.
How did
Built for
prehistoric
it. It was
people
built for Barack
transport the
Obama.
giant stones? Some from hills
You know, I think there's
150
like a
miles away.
ridiculous
Hypotheses
like,
include long tracks
obsession
of
with
logs,
this stuff.
sleighs on greased
Yeah,
tracks,
yeah.
and of course, aliens. Oh, and let's not
It's
forget
a
Merlin
circle of
or
stones at the
giants.
end of the day.
Opinions also differ as to the site's function.
Like if there was
An
more
burial
to it,
site,
then fair
a place
enough.
of healing, or an astronomical observatory.
It's not quite as impressive as the ant,
To
in
the
my
Royal
opinion.
College of Art researchers, the bluestones have, quote, unusual acoustic properties, ringing when struck, which was often associated in ancient cultures with mystical properties.
I believe this is a meeting place to connect with the ancestors. I am utterly convinced the stones are linked to the ancestors.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'd say 20 seconds walking into the Screaming Woods, we hear what sounds like a scream from way back deeper into the woods.
Rumor has it there is a
Where the hell's going on?
underneath
Steve.
the Archuleta Mesa here. Dulce. Some people in town say the base is run by aliens working with our federal government to conduct mind control and genetic experiments.
で、ここで
I believe it.
1日か2日泊まってそれで死体が見つかってればこれ片付けられると思うんで多分見つかってないんだと思います。
Number one, Area 51.
Oh.
And that
Yeah!
understanding the entire universe.
U.S. Air Force.
Don't know what this is.
Or
though. Like,
storehouse
why is that the
extraterrestrial
representation of Area
technology.
51?
Located deep in the Nevada desert, this remote research installation has been used as a test site for experimental aircraft and weapons, with the dry bed of Groom Lake providing an ideal airfield. But the secrecy around the site and a string of alleged UFO sightings have stimulated allegations that the base houses crashed and reverse-engineered alien spacecraft, and even alien collaborators. While skeptics
believe it.
suggest the UFOs were reflections of light on the broad fuselage of aircraft such as the Lockheed U-2, people claiming to be former employees report having worked hand in four-fingered gray hand with extraterrestrial engineers in a vast underground facility.
The truth. What is going on here at Area 51? What are these black budget projects?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new
There you
videos.
go.
That was pretty cool. There's some places I definitely didn't know about.
Some interesting things there, wasn't there?
Yeah. So low-key want to be the tribes people. I think they're living literally their best lives.
Yeah, just leave them to be them. Stop harassing them, everybody.
I'm gonna just low-key drop in. They won't see me coming in and just gonna live amongst them. I mean, I think we'll have an issue when I can't speak whatever language they have, you know. Ugh. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Until next time.